Before we talk with Stevie, we're going to look at a clip from a hot new single off that album called Stop Dragging My Heart Around.
People running around loose in the world. Ain't got nothing better to do. Make a meal of some bright-eyed kid. You'll be someone looking after you. I know you really want to tell me goodbye. I know you really want to be your own girl. Baby, you could never look me in the eye. You buckle with the weight of the world. Stop dragging my heart.
Welcome to Live at 5.
Thank you.
Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
2 years in the making, I guess, from the time it was announced that you might do this until we finally got the finished product. And Cal Rudman, who is, I guess, one of the most educated ears in the music business, he hits at about 93% accuracy when he picks the hits and decides what's going to go, says this may be one of the giant albums of all time.
Oh, I hope he's right.
Why would you, with the success you enjoyed with Fleetwood Mac and the group, decide to go off and want to do this by yourself?
Because I have an excess of songs, and I write a lot. And what happens is if you are in a group that has 3 writers and you do an album every 2 years, you can only put 3 or 4 songs out every 2 years. And if you write a lot, then you have so many left over that it starts to backlog so badly that you don't know if you should just even stop writing, because you just have too many songs. So I just needed to do it really as an outlet to get so that I could go on writing.
Why are you such a prolific songwriter? Some songwriters write a tune or two a year, and every 5 years maybe they have a hit. You write almost compulsively.
I love to write. That's my first love. And I love to sit down with a glass of wine at the piano and a little incense and a candle and just write. You know, it's a very satisfying thing for me to do, and it also, I guess, I get to say all the things that I'd like to say and don't verbally. So I write them down and then I put them to music, and it's a lot of fun. But it's also for my own soul, you know, it does me a lot of good.
In what way? What do you try to say? What sorts of things are you able to kind of let go of when you sit down with a glass of wine and a piano and begin to do that? What does it do?
You can be a lot more philosophic when you write words into a song than you can when you're really talking to someone. So I say a lot of things that I want to say to people through my songs that I can't say to them from me. And also, a song reaches a lot of people. And you can't go around door to door and tell those...
Knock on the door and say, I'd like to share my thoughts on something with you.
Or walk out, you know, after a concert and say, can you possibly stay for 5 minutes and we can discuss this? So for me, it's like, it's the most wonderful way to... My parents wanted me to be a second-grade teacher, so I get to do a little bit of teaching and get a little bit of feedback back from the kids who listen, and they do listen, and that means all the world to me. So it's a wonderful thing.
What happens if he's right, this fellow that we're talking about, Cal Rudman, and this becomes a super big record? What happens to Fleetwood Mac? What happens to you? Where does that leave the group?
I just have to work harder and fit 2 things in, because I'm not willing to give up Fleetwood Mac. So I'll do both, and they don't mind. They know that they know I have to do this because they know how much I write. They call me the mad songwriter as they walk past me and go, she's writing another song. And so they understand, you know, and they're very supportive of me.
You're not the only one in the group that's kind of doing his own thing either at this point, are you?
Right. Lindsey is working right now on his. And Christine just finished an album, producing an album for a man whose name is Robbie Patton, who's doing very, very well. He's a very good friend of mine, a plug. And so everybody is doing their, you know, Mick went to Africa and went to Ghana and did a lot of work and recording with musicians over there. So everybody's, it's 6 years, you know, it's time for everybody to just get a little break. Then it's much easier to go back into the studio.
I was going to ask you about that. You said it's been 6 years. The Beatles did what they did for a specified period of time. And John Lennon, before he left us on more than one occasion, said the time came when it was over, that it was just over. They had things to say that fit into a certain time frame. The audience was there. but people change. They grow older, the times change, the audience changes. Is that something you see happening with Fleetwood Mac anytime soon? I mean, at some point, everything has to end.
When it ends, you know. And it
people in the
hasn't.
group know.
Yeah, you just, I mean, like, you know, if you get a divorce from somebody or a relationship breaks up, it's like you just wake up one morning and you say, this is over. Well, it's, until that feeling hits all of us, there's no reason for it to be over, you know. It's a lot of fun, and it's a good band.
It's a tremendous band, and you are some talent. And the new album, I listened to, I think, all but a couple of cuts this afternoon downstairs in the radio studio. The new album is just dynamite. You are a giant, and we wish you much success with the album. And I hope that it's not over for Fleetwood Mac either for a while, because that's some group.
No problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Stevie Nicks. The album's called Belladonna. Watch for it. Sue?
All right, Jack, thank you. Up next, live at 5, Chauncey Howe has today's latest installment.